This is very enlightening. Yesterday, I told you that 5 people have officially been charged in Argentina in connection with Liam Payne's death in October. Some of them are obvious, like the 2 men charged with supplying him substances. Then there's his friend Roger, who also has been charged, and that one is iffy. But I definitely don't agree with the 2 hotel managers that have been charged with manslaughter. Manslaughter is a type of murder. It's a lesser degree. So why are the 2 hotel managers being charged with manslaughter? The judge, a woman, maybe a One Direction fan, is speaking out. That waiter, Brian Payne, who's given multiple interviews, he and the hotel employee who worked in housekeeping are facing up to 15 years in prison if convicted with supplying Liam Payne with substances. And that Brian is a liar. I mean, what are we going to expect? Shady boots he is. New court documents reveal WhatsApp messages between Liam and Brian. And if those WhatsApp messages are true, Brian was facilitating, really, for Liam, although Brian says he never accepted money. Does that make the charges any less so if you just gave him them or if you sold them? I think that might be an interesting distinction. I think if you're just giving somebody substances, it might be less time. But his friend Roger has been charged with negligent homicide. And if convicted, Roger Norris, who earlier this year was also working as Liam's manager, he could be facing 5 to 15 years in prison. Now, on to Hilda Martin and Esteban Grassi. They were the hotel managers at the Casa Sur Palermo, and they are facing manslaughter charges. If convicted, they could be behind bars for 5 years each. The judge says of those 2, quote, "I consider that they didn't act maliciously with regards to the singer's death, but they were reckless in facilitating his transfer to his room by taking him there. They created a legally unacceptable risk, and Liam Payne's death is the result." As some of you might remember, security camera footage has confirmed that he was acting out in the hotel lobby, loitering there, causing a scene, smashing a laptop, according to eyewitnesses, convulsing, passing out, screaming, and then forced up to his room, literally dragged up to his room against his will, in the state that he was in. Judge Laura Brugnard says that the 2 hotel managers saw Liam being taken upstairs by 3 people while he was heavily full of substances. A toxicology report found that he had alcohol, the cocoa, and antidepressants in his system. And the judge says that the 2 that have been charged with manslaughter that worked at the hotel knew there was a balcony in his room that was a source of risk for Liam. The judge wrote in the court documents that have been made public now with these charges, quote, "Payne's consciousness was altered and there was a balcony in the room. The proper thing to do was to leave him in a safe place and with company until a doctor arrived. The people responsible at the hotel that day were the manager, Hilda Martin, and the head of reception, Esteban Grassi. The proper thing to do was to leave him in a safe place and with company until a doctor arrived." I agree with that. I agree with that. I just don't know if manslaughter is the charge. Does that make sense? But I do agree with what the judge is saying. Here's the really interesting part, though. Lawyers for the accused may now appeal. This is because the law in Argentina is very different. Lawyers for those accused may now appeal that decision by the judge to charge them before a prosecutor decides to request a trial after considering all of the evidence presented. Meaning, they've been charged, but they might not go to trial. And the prosecutor's office is doubling down on the theory that Liam fell unconscious after attempting to climb over the railing of the room's balcony. Quote, in a statement saying, I maintain that the person named tried to leave via the balcony of the place where he was left because the forensic experts noted that he did not lose his balance. This is how the fall occurred. Sad. Just sad. Ay, ay, ay. Thoughts? Let me know in the comments section.